as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand.
Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King, and I'm delighted to be starting off today's program with our CIT Marbella Guest of the Week. CIT Marbella is an amazing business networking association, grouping over 500 companies, covering over 80 different professions. But the nice thing is they all support each other. Most unusual, people would say, for Marbella, but no, we do have a really good networking community that supports each other. And it's a pleasure to welcome Marbella Platinum. And sitting next to me is Alejandro.
Hello.
Pleasure to meet you. Buenos dias. Hi.
Nice to meet you. Buenos dias.
Alejandro, are you from Marbella? You sound Spanish by the name. Is this you Spanish?
Well, actually, no, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not from Marbella, and I'm not Spanish. I'm French.
Mon Dieu!
Yeah. But my parents are Spanish. They went to France a few years ago, many years ago, sorry. And then they came back to Spain. First to Madrid, and then they came here to Marbella. My father started working in real estate 20 years ago, more or less. And then we came, first my brother came to work with him, and a couple of years ago I came also to work with a family business.
It's really nice that you are working in a family business.
Absolutely.
The program yesterday, we also had family business, and it's lovely to be in an idyllic place like Marbella, the Costa del Sol, and have the whole family together enjoying it. How old were you when you left France to go to Madrid?
I was 17, but then I came back to France for university, and after the university I came back to Spain, where I had my girlfriend. So that was in the 90s, and then I stayed there for many years until 2 years ago.
So you're a newbie, basically, on the coast?
Yes. Even if we came many times for holidays where I was younger, because my grandparents used to live in Malaga, and my other grandparents in Algeciras. So Marbella was always on the path between both cities, and we came many times.
So your company, Marbella Platinum, the family business,
Yep.
Is it just real estate? We have obviously a lot of real estate on the Costa del Sol, but the nice thing is that every one of you does something different.
Yes, we try to do something different because we have, let's say, a lot of competition. So we try to focus on beachside properties, mainly in high-end complexes and around Puerto Banús. So let's say from the Golden Mile to Casasola, more or less, and all the properties we work with are, let's say, above 1 million, and many of them are located in those complexes like Laguna de Banús, Oasis de Banús, and so on. So it's.
What are the benefits of taking a luxury apartment but in one of these complexes?
Well, the benefit, let's say, compared to, for example, a villa, is that you have the same amenities, even more many times, because you have your spa, your gym, your swimming pool. Many times you also have your private swimming pool, but at the same time you have security, 24-hour security, and you don't have to take care of, let's say, everything around. The complex is you have many people for taking care of it. So let's say, especially if it's a holiday property for you, it's, let's say, a way to be tranquilo. How you say tranquilo?
Relax.
Yeah, relax.
Yeah,
You
not have to worry about anything.
You don't have to worry about anything. Your property is always, let's say, secure, sure, and in good conditions.
What is it like at the moment with the current market? Tourism's not coming, but when it would seem that the higher priced properties aren't actually having a problem. Prices aren't
No.
coming down.
No.
People are just buying online.
Absolutely.
The market's adapted quickly to this online
yes, very
situation.
Fast. And the fact is that we are quite surprised about the reaction of the clients, because we thought that as they can't come, at least personally, physically, the sales would probably go down. And the truth is that there is more and more interest in this kind of properties. And many people just see it on the website and call us and ask for it. We have a lot of inquiries, and even the last one we sold was, let's say, in 90% of the process was online or by phone or by.
Very reassuring,
yeah,
no? I mean, because it has to be
absolutely,
scary
absolutely,
when, like,
yeah.
the lifeline is gone, to see that things aren't changing in that respect.
Yeah, it's true, but the good thing, let's say the good thing in a certain way, is that people have adapted very, very fast to this new situation, and at the same time they're looking for this kind of properties because they don't want to be, let's say, in an apartment in the middle of London or in the middle of Oslo, where they can't do anything. They prefer to stay here, and now that you can work from everywhere in the world, for them it's very attractive to live here.
I've actually heard of quite a few people who've decided to come here. I know a few have gone to Thailand, but it's interesting to see the opportunities that have opened from the disadvantages of
Absolutely,
lockdown, that
absolutely.
you really can. And what a better place to be in lockdown than here on the Costa del Sol.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, yeah, I think it's not only an opportunity for our business, of course it is, but also for the city and for the region, because this will create in the future probably more wealth and more wealthy people coming here to stay, not only for the holidays. So I think it will be positive in the end. I hope so.
I'm sure it will. Do you find that you have a specific clientele as well? You have a very specific market area, which I like, that you are not just doing everything anywhere, that you stick to a specific genre and area of...
Yes, of course we have access to other kinds of property, but that's our specialty. Let's say the profile of our client is in a high percentage is French speaking. So we have people from France, Belgium, all the European French-speaking countries, also from the north of Africa.
I mean, that's, I think, the second largest population in Marbella right
Yes,
now.
yes,
I mean,
I think
it's,
they are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
there's a lot of Brits, but there really
Yeah.
is an enormous amount of Moroccans living here.
Yes, absolutely. We have a lot of this kind of this origin of clients.
Do you find that the demand of properties differs from the nationality, what they're actually looking for?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't, at least not in our case, because as I told you, we're very focused on those kind of properties. So no, I would say they look, all of them look for the same reason for this kind of properties, because they don't want to be worried about their properties if they're, because many times it's not the only property they have abroad for them. They have another one in Paris, they have another one in Miami, and so on. So they don't want to take care of it or to be worried about it when they're not here. So that's more or less the same profile always.
And how's it been for you, the change, living here on the coast?
It's been great. It's been great because you know, I win every day. I win a couple of hours at least because I don't have to.
You're not going to driving back to work.
Exactly.
And,
I don't have to drive too much to work or even to go to a viewing or whatever. So I just from my house to the property I have to view, it's only 10-15 minutes. So everything is very close, and at the same time you have this feeling of privacy. Even if it's small, it's very private. So it's a very interesting place to live.
And do you tend to go out a lot socially, and finding it difficult now with
Not
the
in
change?
the last year, to be honest, not in the last year. But yes, of course, we like to go out. There are many places to see, and we've discovered a lot of places around a lot of small villages and so on with my family. So it's
Been a
very-
good time to explore.
Yeah, it's very great. I'm very happy.
Well, it's absolutely a pleasure to meet you.
you very much.
Before we finish, just to know, are you looking for more properties? If people have a property
Of
and they're
course.
thinking of selling, they should like contact you.
Of course, they can contact us through the CIT or directly through our website, marbellaplatinum.com. That by the way, we're modernizing it. We'll have the new website probably in a couple of weeks.
Again, taking advantage now of the past
Yes,
year,
absolutely,
getting everything
absolutely,
recorded,
absolutely.
videoed
Yeah,
online.
yeah. So yes, it's been, let's say, a kind of brackets in time, but at the same time, it's been a good opportunity for progressing and making new things.
Yeah, I think we all have to look at it that way, in the sense we all feel like we're on pause, but it has been an opportunity to reassess, bring perhaps our businesses into the next generation,
Yeah.
particularly of the technology generation that seems to be taking over.
Absolutely.
Do you do rentals as well, or just sales?
We do rentals. Short term sometimes, but it's not our specialty. We make, what we do is rental in the properties we've sold for clients of us. So it's in this kind of complexes.
So when they're investment properties, you then
Exactly.
handle the renting out of
yeah,
them.
of course we do all the service, all the process for our clients.
Absolutely wonderful. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks to you.
Shame we didn't have room for your brother to have there. Is he baby brother or older brother?
He's 5 years younger.
The baby brother.
He's the baby
The
brother.
baby brother. There wasn't room for both of them. So this time it's Alejandro's turn. Next time we'll have Daniel sitting in the hot seat and get his perspective of what it's like having big brother join in the family business after all these years.
Well, I think it's not a bad experience.
I'm
for-
sure
for
he's
both of us.
delighted. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I think we're all enjoying what it's meant having the family closer together. So if those of us who can, enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alejandro. And thank
Thank
you
you.
so much
Pleasure.
to CIT Marbella for sending us such interesting guests every week. It's nice to know what's going on in our city. Now we're going to some messages from our sponsor, Linear Director, giving us free taxi up to 4 times a month. Not bad at all. And our Zero Hero venues with free drinks for the designated driver. Don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Hey, hey.
John's car is still being repaired, so he's delighted that Judy has come to pick him up. However, after a very heavy business trip, he's less than enthusiastic when her car breaks down.
I insure with Linear Director,
She tells John,
so please do relax. I've got this.
and she had. The taxi was there in no time. Her car safely towed for repairs, and a courtesy car readily available. Call Linear Director on 952 14 78 34 to see how they can better your life too. Judy likes to consider herself a clever young woman, which is why she thought very carefully before choosing her insurance company. Now that she needs it, she's jolly glad she chose Linear Director, as it looks as if she might have something better to do. Why don't you be clever, like Judy? Call Linear Director on 952 14 78 34 and see which policy is best for you.
Hi guys, Ross here from Hogan Stand. Proud to be a member of the Zero Hero campaign. And we recommend everybody, nobody drives drinking, everybody who drives a car doesn't have any alcohol in their system, and we're proud to sponsor the Zero Hero program.
We are at we are at
Our welcome Zero Heroes. How many visitors?
G-Wine is happy to be Zero Hero partner.
How cool is that? G-Wine.
Thank you.
no time to hesitate. We
Cladagh
okay.
are proud to present Zero the Hero.
so much trouble tearing off.
Never drink and drive.
Poison arrows shoot straight to your
McNulty is proud to be a Zero Hero partner.
mind if we try.
Out of bounds, Zero Hero Partners.
Here we are, sticker going on. Delighted to welcome everybody and to be part of the Zero Hero campaign. Delighted.
Zero Hero, welcome here at the Gaucho de Banús.
Welcome to Lemongrass, Doña Lola. Thank you very much.
Let the feeling into your soul. Let it set you on your way. No need to.
Zero Hero, welcome to Portofino, Cabopino.
There'll be no trouble.
Welcome back to the program. I'm delighted to be joined now by Callie of Dental Mavericks. An introduction thanks to Anita Norje, who sets up some fabulous interviews for me. But this one I look forward to, but I can't believe, Callie, it's like 3 years since I last saw you. I'm in shock. Where did they go? I know the last one went to COVID, but the other two? How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Yes, very good.
So obviously still going strong with Dental Mavericks.
Yep, still going strong, lots of new projects and lots of sort of extensions on where we got to last time in terms of working in Lebanon and Marbella, in Morocco even. So obviously we've had lockdown and in Lebanon the big thing for us this year was to continue as much as possible. And then we had the Beirut blast in August and that just catapulted into another way of working within dentistry. So basically, when we spoke last time, we were doing outreach programs and we were taking our clinics out into refugee camps, into rural areas of Morocco. That all stopped with COVID. And we were working on, a smaller amount, but still getting out and doing emergency. And then the Beirut blast happened last August and we really had to step into action because there was lots of mouth trauma and people who'd lost teeth, lots and lots of different needs really other than emergency. So we had a clinic set up in 12 hours and we had a fundraising scheme set up within 12 hours and we've been seeing around 100 patients a month since last August and we've still got 159 to see from the blast. And we've got around 70, I think about 75 still in treatment. So a completely different way of working.
I mean, this is all mind-blowing. I mean, to think that we're sitting here in 5-star luxury Marbella, you're sitting here in 5-star luxury Marbella, and we're talking about bomb blasts in Lebanon, people needing dental attention apart from God knows what else.
Yeah.
How did you even get into this? Let's go back a bit. Dental Mavericks obviously is like the Doctors Without Borders, it's dentists without border kind of thing?
Yes, so basically what we're doing is we're taking dentistry. We talk about, people say, well, dentistry is expensive and it is a private commodity for us. But, it's all about priority as well, not for everybody, but for a lot of society within the Western world. Where we're working is we're choosing or we're working with communities such as Syrian refugees. There's a big economic crisis in Lebanon and then rural communities in Morocco. So again, people who've been on holiday in Morocco would say, well, actually, it's a developing country, blah, blah, blah. But there are really areas which are really impoverished and they don't have any access whatsoever to dental care. And we're focusing on children. And one of the things that we do find is that the children actually live day by day with a lot of abscesses and a lot of pain, just naturally. So basically the idea is that we choose these communities and then we go and we provide access to them and then a long-term effort to try and control oral hygiene and give them toothbrushing clubs and things that are going to improve the health, as we know systemically now.
Are you a dentist yourself?
No.
How on earth did you get involved with this?
So I've basically got involved with this I've got a marketing company that basically works with private dentists and solely. It's a niched marketing company. That's how it started 11 years ago. But what's happened is Dental Mavericks has become its own commodity in terms of it's bigger. I mean, before the lockdown, we were having oral hygiene programs for around 226,000 children, worldwide. So it's become its own thing. So there's now a ground team in Morocco, a ground team in Lebanon, and And we're hoping now to expand the way that we're working. The new ethos is that rather than doing outreach is that we ask private dentists to give us their clinics, and we pay for, of course, the PPE. Because of COVID, it's a lot more expensive. We pay for the PPE.
What's PPE?
Personal protective equipment. So if you go to the dentist now, you'll notice that they're double masked, they're completely covered in plastic, the feet are covered, and it's quite an expensive way to do dentistry now. So we supply that to the dentists that are working on our behalf. And basically the idea now is that we supply the beneficiary through the dental practice, but they give their time up for free. So rather than coming in volunteering into another country, we're focusing on the dentists within the country where the situation is and asking them to get more involved. And I think it's a better model, to be honest.
So it's really like doing some pro bono work.
Exactly.
That they're not charging for, and hopefully they're not going to cost them anything because you're going to cover those additional supplies that they'll need. How has the initial feedback been?
Well, we've done the other thing that we've changed is we're making sure that we manage the beneficiary. So the person comes to us with the emergency, we will triage that person, pass them on to the other thing is we can use specialists. So if someone needs dentures or they've got teeth missing, especially in the blast in August, children had lost the front teeth, so they needed stainless steel crowns and specialised equipment. So we've got a team of dentists in Beirut. We triage them to that particular dentist, they do the treatment, and then we phone the beneficiary at the end of the treatment and ask them what was the care like, you know, just the way you would with any sort of normal treatment, and making sure that the standards are met and that the experience was a positive one for the beneficiary. So we're measuring, which is a new thing for us.
Who is the we behind Dental Mavericks?
So the we would be, there's myself and there is Kerry, who works part-time in Alarin. We have a ground coordinator in Lebanon, in Beirut. She's a Polish dentist. And then we have a team of specialists that are working as volunteers.
But did you start this up?
Yes, 11 years ago, yeah.
I mean, it's like a major project. I mean, just the fact that you were smart enough to see the niche to specialise in media for dentistry. I mean, chapeau in that. But then to parallelly start this charity, I think, is magnificent.
Yeah, I think the thing is with dentists as well is that they tend to be very insular. And they don't have enough adventure. So one of the things that we brought is adventure, to take them out of the box and take them into a country that has no access to dental care. For them, it's life-changing. They go back with a different attitude.
But a lot of organising for you as well to give them this experience.
Yeah.
I mean, who helps you with all that? Do you have agreements with governments, tourism?
Yes, a big agreements. I mean, especially in Morocco, lots of red tape in Morocco. We're just starting to collaborate with another charity in Lesbos in Greece, but we have to work through the Greek government for that. And we're hoping that we're going to get a project going in La Linea. Hoping we're right at the early stages. We're just doing needs assessment at the moment with a homeless charity called Hogan Stand, which of course you'll be aware of. And we're just in the process now of doing a questionnaire, looking at the needs assessment, and then I'm hoping that we might be able to mirror what we've done in Beirut in La Linea with the same processes and systems to help people there as well, a little bit more closer to home.
I mean, from the way it's sounding and the new approach that you've got, it looks like that you can really not franchise it, but can emulate this everywhere.
Exactly.
Just getting local dentists to just give a few hours to those who really are in need. And right now, there's a lot of people that I call them the everyday people who are no longer leading everyday lives. You know, there's so many unemployed.
Yeah, and the one thing that is happening in dentistry is that obviously, because it's private, it's the one thing that gets left behind. And I don't know if you've seen the stats, but with COVID, missing even things like hygiene appointment has a bigger recovery rate on COVID. But there's much more to what goes in your mouth. There's Alzheimer's, there's heart disease, there's a big systemic issue with lack of oral hygiene. But
really?
Yeah.
See, people don't think about anything, any related things to an oral hygiene.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a clinician, so you can look up reports up online. But one of the things we're trying to make is dentistry to be more of a primary healthcare need as a charity, because if you systemically get your oral hygiene in check and you're looking after your mouth, it's got a big long-term effect on your health as you get older. So there's lots of other benefits to it. But what you were saying was interesting about the franchise is that that's the exciting thing, because before COVID, we were a volunteer-led organisation, almost like a massive travel company for dentists to be able to go and volunteer in unusual situations, like Doctors Without Borders. But now the new setup since COVID has made it that, yeah, we can franchise this, and we've been approached, and I hope it goes through because it's all early stages, but we've been approached by one of the biggest medical NGOs in the world for Syrian refugees who love our model. And they've asked us if we could potentially roll this out in Tripoli, in Bekaa Valley, where most of the Syrian refugees are. We're already doing it in Beirut and another place in Lebanon, and that would just be exactly like that franchise model, where we just roll it out and roll it out and roll it out, and the numbers don't matter. It's how we manage it and who runs it.
It's just like getting those doctors, the dentists on board, who can then be part of the circuit. I mean, you are setting up something that is absolutely extraordinary, and I'm sure even exceeding your own expectations, or did you kind of have this vision from the start?
Not at all. Not. I mean, from March. I mean, I know that. I'm not saying that COVID's. From our point of view, it was a shock to start off with, because we didn't actually think we'd be continuing as an NGO, because we are volunteer-led and that's how our income comes through. But we just decided that we would do as much as we could with the little resources that we have, because most of us are volunteers, apart from the ground coordinator and one of the people that does admin, but everyone else volunteers the time and the money and pays their own way. And we thought, if without volunteers this won't continue. But things have really, it's sort of an attitude-based thing. It's about trying to achieve things, looking at things differently, and seeing what other resources you can tap into. Another great help in Marbella was the Guadalmina Rotary Club. They've really helped us. They helped us with the personal protective clothing we supplied, and the president helped us with a small amount of money towards the last as well. The other thing we worked out is that it costs $29 to basically take someone out of acute pain. So we've got a really good idea now. If someone donates $100 or €100, we know exactly how many people are going to be treated and helped through that as well. Yeah.
I mean, I can just see that you're going to be getting like the Nobel Prize. But it's funny how unexpectedly you've created a system, a model that I think everybody can follow.
Yeah.
And I think that, as you say, the dentist to be part of something bigger,
Yes.
you're giving them also a way of giving back and making them feel that they're part of something that's going to make a big change, a big difference.
I mean, just in Lebanon, the crisis from an economic point of view is they're talking famine in the next 12 months. It's so bad. And the dentists there just basically don't have any work. So we've got the group of dentists we work with. We've given them back purpose. They're actually treating their own people. And we're paying them in dollar. And that is, in terms of what the Lebanese dollars like at the moment, it does make a big difference as well. So it's that capacity building feeling that you're contributing to the local community, which I think is the right thing to do rather than take volunteers at the moment. I think as a path forward with countries that are really struggling, that we should be looking to help people within the country rather than bringing in, external people who can do the job just the same, and it would help them,
I'm all for making circular support systems. We saw all too much during the lockdown that charities asking, the money's just going. And it doesn't matter how much money you give, it's always going to be the same. Coming up with systems like this means that if you've always got the professionals there, it will just keep going and growing.
Yeah, and we keep continuously getting dentists in Beirut and Lebanon asking. We've got a big waiting list of people wanting to give back. So I think if we can all, it's that thing, isn't it? You can't change the world, but if you can just do a little bit within your remit, and do it with the people that really want to get involved, it does make a massive amount of difference for us and for them as well.
One dentist at a time.
Yeah.
Are you looking for people locally? If dentists, someone's listening, they're, well, I could do this in Marbella, I could do this in San Pedro, I could do this. I mean, let's face it, we have homeless and hungry and needy everywhere.
Yeah, if any dentist or dental nurse or anybody involved in dentistry supplies, we are right at the early stages of the La Linea project, but if we could replicate this, I mean, I need help. Obviously, I know the license situation in Morocco and Lebanon and Greece and so on, but I don't actually, I'm just learning it in Spain as well. So if anyone's absolutely interested in getting involved in this project, as you know, there's a massive need in La Linea, and we're looking at, you know, lots of different, a lot of denture cases for especially women who've got maybe been, you know, on the streets and they've had drug addiction and they're wanting to renew their lives, but they haven't got any teeth. There was some cases like that where we could provide denture, you know, externally provide denture cases for bringing people back up on the feet again, because, you know, sitting in an interview with, you know, not feeling good about your appearance is, and if you've made that effort to get through addiction and get back your life together, I think you deserve it, you know. So if we can get something like that going and anyone wants to get involved, absolutely, yes, please.
It's fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
I mean, did you study for this? What were your origins and your career path originally?
I think from a personal perspective, I love to travel. And I like, I'm an adrenaline burnout type of person. So I like that excitement of the build-up and the deliverance and the new culture and the smells and the food. And I've, you know, meeting people who become like your family, don't you, when you're travelling in this. I mean, you'll do it with your job. You're always continuously meeting great people. And that becomes addictive. And, you know, people say, oh, you know, it's not about giving back because you're trying to be saintly. You have to have an internal passion for it. And you have to be able to see something through. And there is a little bit of selfishness in that, because I've just been able to travel in these majorly exciting countries, and that's really what it is for me. But obviously from a clinician's point of view, being able to see a child who's lost all the teeth in a blast, or, you know, the woman that we'd met in La Linea, to change, it's life-changing for people that actually doesn't cost a lot of money.
Do you have time for yourself ever?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I do at the moment, don't I?
Yeah, well, it's nice that you love what you do.
Yes.
Lovely to see you again.
Thank
I
you.
can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
And if you would like to support Dental Mavericks, obviously you can go ahead and do so. And if you're a professional in that field, then there's a lot you can do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me on Marbella Now to meet the people who make it happen. And that is certainly the case in Callie's case. Take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Hasta mañana.
We can change if we try. Just believe it.